So the other night, I started gathering all of the addresses of people on the launch team.
Yeah.
And if Fort Worth is this, we're here.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really cool to see that localized mission, just totally focused on just that area.
Right.
I could never have imagined a situation where the Lord would call us away from the Paradox Church.
There's this comfort that goes with staying at the Paradox and wanting to be at the Paradox until we die, and we kind of, thought that's where we'd be. But being and going, we know that's what God's calling us to.
So do you remember our first Sunday here?
I do, man. I'll never forget it. I had just zero idea of what to expect.
Yeah.
People showed up, surprise one.
No, I know, we weren't sure. One thing I remember is just how bootleg everything was. Like we had a torn screen that the Rooted had given us, a wobbly stage that City View had given us. We had a bootleg sound system that Kevin Groff brought us his PA system.
Yeah.
Praise be to God they did, but it wasn't that good.
Right. And I remember just people singing, and people genuinely being excited about what God was doing. And
we've always been a singing church.
Yeah,
you started that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jesus started that.
We were at the Village in Dallas, and we saw your promo video, and you had the dorkiest video. It was so funny. And we both looked at each other like, we have to go to this church. This is the church we need to be at.
Matt and I were just a part of so many different churches that we didn't really plug in until we got to the Paradox. It was the first kind of communal experience with other adults that you're really talking about deep things, and it's just really eye-opening.
We had been a believer for a year, right at a year when we started coming. There was a joy that was there, but there was so much baggage that I had pushed down for years that all of a sudden I had to actually acknowledge was there. And the Lord was putting things in my life to help me. So that's kind of where we came into the Paradox.
We're sitting at the table, and you're at the whiteboard, and you draw a map of Fort Worth, right, to kind of the 820 loop.
Yeah.
I just remember you putting markers on North Fort Worth and West Fort Worth and East Fort Worth and South Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I remember that moment thinking, this guy's crazy.
I know. Yeah.
And now here we are, and God's done it.
Yeah.
One thing that was really consistent from the beginning at Paradox was that we plant churches and we want to saturate the city for the glory and grace of Jesus. Now to be able to walk out in that in a tangible way is just really exciting.
This is going to be where Redemption Hill starts meeting in a month, right?
Yeah, May 2nd.
Yeah. And what church are we at?
So this is La Casa de Todos.
Sure, of course it is. The vision back in, 2013 for us as we just kind of drew that up. And now here you're kind of filling out that loop in South Fort Worth.
Yep.
You didn't even come to the Paradox to plant a church.
No.
You came here to chill, rest, go to seminary.
Yep.
Can you chill and rest at seminary?
You can't. No, but we were going to do it. It was through 3 different sermons that pertain to church planting.
Okay.
So you preached one on Matthew 28, making disciples, and you said that discipleship is a lifelong process that happens in the context of the local church.
Yeah. Pretty sure I stole that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. Just claim it. I've stolen it from you.
Yeah, okay.
But man, just the idea that what if every neighborhood in Fort Worth had a healthy gospel-centered church? And we're kind of sensing this prompting from the Lord to be a part of that. South Fort Worth, man, it's diverse. Lots of ethnic diversity. We're standing in it, and just lots of opportunity for healthy church planting.
Yeah, it was really difficult to start those conversations. After a year studying Genesis with BSF, the Lord was just very, very clear through Abraham's story. This is where I'm calling you. Move your tent, settle, and plant a church, build an altar, worship me. And so we said yes.
Over and over the last 10 years, there's been challenges and things that the Lord has done that have been just extremely difficult and humbling, but those are very, very clearly the times where the Lord has grown and sanctified me the most. But I think just thinking about what the Lord's done through the Paradox, just being faithful to plant churches, and the relational dynamic that we've been able to experience from being here for 10 years. And then now we get to be a part of it in South Fort Worth. It's just super exciting.
There's no reason that the Lord should have done all of this with us.
No, despite it really deserving to fall apart on so many levels, like God just upheld it and just kept doing things, you know?
Awesome.
Our desire is that every single person in this area meet Jesus. And we think the most effective way to do that is church planting. It's not going to be the building of just one location, you know, but we want to train and equip and send, and we want that to be embedded in our DNA from the beginning.
Redemption Hill Jr.?
Yeah, of course.
Redemption Hill the third?
We've talked about the size of the next church planting resident for me.
He's got to be shorter?
Exceptionally small. He's going to be a really small man.
Why? Is that the precedent we set?
I had to stand on a platform when you and I did our first video, yes.
That's really funny. That's funny.